Before we begin, when I first started writing this speech, Mr. Hendricks told me, if you make them both laugh and cry, then you have done your job. I've done both of those things an awful lot this year, and I've done both already today, so now it is your turn. Please do both. Friends, family, alumni, staff, teachers, Dr. Carlisle, and especially the class of 2026, good afternoon. My name is Elliott Hill, and for some reason, I'm up here today. I'm here standing in front of what looks like half of Chattanooga to give a speech to the class of 2026, the community of CSAS, and to you all. The mothers, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers, the aunts, the uncles, the honeys, the grandpappy dearests, and the little cousins. The lucky half of Chattanooga, which has some connection to the incredible class of 2026. And yet, any student who has slept through a block of Mr. Bowser's class, been decked by a random door opening on the way to lunch, or avoided the 8th grade hallway after movement by all means necessary, could stand here and share what they have taken and what they will leave here. Every student before us has lived a life through the school and their community, which is more than worthy of an audience of half of Chattanooga. Every student before us has personal anecdotes that would give you perspective that you could never have thought of. Every student before us has inside jokes, shout-outs, pieces of wisdom, and so much more. And every student before us would give a speech in which, after their sweet baby boy walks the stage and out of this memorial auditorium, half of Chattanooga says, that was a daggum good speech, and maybe I should give that guy some money. Well, today, I am that person. I'm insanely honored to have been chosen for this position, and I aim to do you justice. CSAS is unique. It is one of few schools in the world founded on the principles of paideia, a holistic approach to education through the use of didactic instruction, intellectual coaching, and seminar. CSAS is one of 9 nationally accredited paideia schools for creative thinking and one of only 2 K-12 schools within that designation. In fact, paideia is central to who we are. In fact, CSAS was founded in 1986, 2 years before the National Paideia Center, the governing body of paideia schools. As a result of this, our student body is prepared for the future in a fuller way than you might see elsewhere. This is a pro and a con. Your dinner tables are livelier, your conversations richer, and perhaps you may have found that your children impart just as much wisdom on you as you have them. Yet, to your dismay, the retort, "'cause I said so," is not sufficient for your paideia-trained student. Regardless, your sons and daughters are set apart. Because they are prepared so well, they want to and will go far. Like the students of many other top schools, your baby boys and girls will become the world's top doctors, historians, plant managers, environmental lawyers, cardiothoracic surgeons, named partners at criminal defense firms, pediatric nurse practitioners, morticians, Grammy award-winning songwriters, and presidents. Yet they will not stop there. In those top positions, they will bring professionalism, thoughtfulness, attentiveness, advocacy, and a sort of wonder-filled behavior which can only be traced back to their roots at CSAS. Every member of the class of 2026 has built in them a unique sense for the world and how they will go into it. We will all find a place to respond to the call we have received, and we will all respond incredibly well. For me, I found my calling in the field of engineering. I've always been interested in the way things work. This became career-focused when I began sailing at a young age. Because of my time on the water and interest in everything that moves within it, I became very keen to study naval architecture and marine engineering. After researching the options, my choice of school was the United States Coast Guard Academy due to their top naval architecture program. I had my first Siler meeting in freshman year and worked hard to shape myself into what they wanted. I aimed to develop my schools in STEM alongside leadership, and for the rest of high school, that is what I strove to do in every position I filled. On September 15, 2025, at 12:32 p.m., I was sitting in Ms. Davis's class when I received a call from Indiana on my Apple Watch. I did not recognize the number, and while normally I would not respond, my friends were around me, so I decided that it was time to mess around. For some reason, I did not pick up the phone in a silly way, but rather said, "Hello?" To which the voice on my Apple Watch said, "Hello, is this Elliott?" Quickly, I ran through all of the websites I had watched movies on in the past few months, but I didn't remember putting my name into any of them, thank God. I had a feeling that I should proceed with caution. "Yes, ma'am." "This is Lieutenant Danessa from the United States Coast Guard Academy." Almost everything from there was a blur. I remember hugging my buddies, calling my parents, Miss Veller telling me to get off my phone in the hallway, and Reese saying to her, "He just got into the Coast Guard Academy. He must have a pass," to which she obliged. When Lieutenant Danessa called me, she told me that due to my performance in their summer program, I had been given an LOA. This LOA, or letter of assurance, meant that I was guaranteed a spot in the class of 2030 so long as I was medically cleared. It meant I had achieved my goal, the thing I had worked for so long. And it also meant that in the second month of my senior year, I had my college decision. What followed was a unique year for me. Without having to think about colleges, I was able to shift my focus to working on projects that I truly cared about. I was able to put time into reunions, a project that I began in junior year, which I could now see come to fruition. And I spearheaded a video focused on the impact of seminar in students in our school that was presented at the National Paideia Conference, and as a result, secured a spot for student voice among the top educators in America. Because of the open nature of these projects, I was often found wandering the hallways. I figure now is as good a time as any to clear my record. To those who it may concern, when we exchanged hellos in the hallways, I was not merely walking around. I, again, for the record, was always in search of something that I needed to fulfill the next goal in my current project. Now also, because of the open nature of these projects, I was able to think outside of the box some. If a peer of mine could locate me through a certain two-toned whistle, that was an added bonus. And having my decision so early, I was able to put time into building my relationships. I had a very different perspective to the people around me, allowing me to grow in ways that had been previously impossible. One thing I value so much about this time was the unique opportunity to be on the outside of conversations. When I had no clue what a conversation was about when mentioning the Common App or how people's FAFSA was going, I had to ask questions for genuine understanding. Oftentimes, I felt like an out-of-touch grandfather searching for a way to catch up to the world around me. I think this is why grandfathers are so wise. They are not caught up with the world. They have lived a life that has shaped them, and now are watching everyone go through the same process. I was taught that if I wanted to know what was going on in people's lives and the community around me, I, much like a grandfather, had to take genuine interest in people. And what a blessing that was. I was able to see every bit of work the class of 2026 was putting in because I did not have to stick my head down and grind in the same way that I saw each and every one of them do every single day. I got to watch my peers receive news, both good and bad, and one by one, I watched as they joined my boat. I gained great reverence from our class over this time, and I am so honored to have gotten to experience it. Then, on Friday, April 24th at 11:13 a.m., I once again received life-altering news in Miss Davis's classroom. A week before National Decision Day, and 7 months after I had received my LOA, I got an email from the Coast Guard with my medical decision. The subject stated simply, in all caps, medical disqualification, applicant waiver not approved. My biggest fear has always been portraying myself as something which I am incapable of rising up to. I was always worried about the chance of missing the mark, of someone coming with more expertise, coming along and telling me that I am not really all that. This decision held the perfect conditions for my fear to come true. All of this setup and discussion, and now officially no payoff. Yet with this decision at my feet, I realized that my fears had not come to fruition. In sharing the news with my closest friends and mentors, the wisdom they imparted onto me was just as, if not more, life-changing than both massive decisions I received this year. Here are a few of them. 1, I am not my acceptance, or rather lack thereof, to the United States Coast Guard Academy, just as the class of 2026 is not the college they are attending. Just as all of your mothers and fathers are not the occupation they are currently filling. Seniors, each and every one of you are the traits that you bring to the colleges, universities, institutions, and occupations which you will soon join. You are the wonder-filled professionalism, thoughtfulness, attentiveness, and advocacy which come with you. You are that unique sense for the world which has only come through your time in the halls of the brick building on East 3rd and the life that you have brought out of that building. Your friends and family are the loving, caring, and at times annoying foundation of who you are. It took me getting into my dream school and being subsequently disqualified to truly value not only myself in this way, but also everyone around me. I am positive that I will have to remind myself of this fact many times in the future. 2, a rudder works a whole lot better when the boat is moving. I am going into the summer with less of a post-secondary direction than I have ever had. I have no clue where I will go come fall. However, this is not a cautionary tale. When I received the LOA in September, I tried my hardest to stay moving. I didn't settle. I worked to impact the communities and people I care so much about. And in the process, I grew multitudes. Even though I'd achieved my, at the time, ultimate goal, each step I took after the fact was a step forward. I learned to lead, to think, to reason, and when I see something that I feel needs to be done, to be respectfully persistent. The result, I am going into this summer with more direction for my life than ever before. I know that there is a plan for me, one that will require work and dedication, and I know that I am equipped for it. And 3, your relationships, the relationships that you make with the people around you shape who you are. Build them and strengthen them. This year, I gained and grew close to mentors and friends who I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt have shaped who I am. They all have told me that I can't stop, that going nowhere is not an option for Elliott Hill. And boy, do I agree. Every single thing that I have gained this year is as a result of them. They have given me the tools, the wisdom, and the strength to change the world, and I intend to do so. Class of 2026, and everyone in this auditorium, in the next and every subsequent stage of your life, employ these wisdoms. Understand that you are not the places that you go, but the presence that you bring with you. Do not stop moving, whether life is really hard or really, really easy. There is always a new place to be, a higher height to climb, a fuller knowledge to know. And do these things not alone, but with the people around you. Your relationships will raise you up when there is no more to give, and life is too good to live alone. Go in peace, and may the God of peace go with you. Thank you.